From WBNG TV, this is Action News at 5:30.
The latest budget includes more than $1 billion in additional aid for schools across New York State. Find out how local districts will be using the extra help. Bus.
Iran nuclear talks go into overtime as some lawmakers prepare a new round of sanctions against Iran. I'm Craig Boswell at the White House. That story coming up.
Welcome back. I'm Carolyn Goggin. The New York State budget for the fiscal year has been passed, and it includes an additional $1.4 billion in school aid. As our Josh Martin tells us, some of the additional funding will help districts deal with losses over the last several years. Josh?
Caroline, starting with the 2009-2010 school year, New York State implemented the gap elimination adjustment as a way of filling gaps in the state budget. Over the past few years, Van Fossen says the district has had to cut a lot of positions and programs because of lack of funding. Coming up at 6, we'll hear from other school districts and what they have planned for the funding they received.
All right, thanks, Josh. Thousands of drivers that cross the Exchange Street Bridge each day will face detours. Binghamton Mayor Rich David announced the start of the bridge reconstruction project, the first major renovation in 25 years. The construction will shut down all vehicle traffic until September, but it will remain open to pedestrians. Traffic will now be detoured to State Street and Tompkins Street bridges.
Cities across the state of New York are really only investing approximately 1/3 of what they should be investing in updating and upgrading their infrastructure. And we're looking here in Binghamton to buck that trend.
The Exchange Street reconstruction project is part of a $28 million infrastructure upgrade plan that will be moving forward in the city this year. Business owners and local leaders gathered in Oneonta this morning to discuss which factors are interfering with economic development in Otsego County and how to overcome those obstacles. Members of the county's Industrial Development Agency, or the IDA, say the area's biggest roadblock is a lack of readily available sites for new businesses. Business owners want sites where they can get a building permit and break ground on construction within 30 to 60 days. The IDA's biggest focus moving forward is to prepare new locations of land for potential businesses to build on.
It's really going through the process of engaging the community, talking to the planning board, starting seeker, really doing the formal approval process. So we've started that at Pony Farms, we started that in Richfield, and we're looking for some additional sites to do the same thing.
Officials say small businesses and depleted main streets are another issue in Otsego County. Hear what owners of small businesses are concerned about coming up tonight on Action News at 6 o'clock. U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand made a stop in Vestal today to promote an act she is hoping to get passed this year. She visited Curcio Printing as part of her statewide tour to drum up bipartisan support. Now, this support would be for her federal legislation, also known as the Family Act. This act would function similar to Social Security. Employees would put money into their paid leave funds that employers would then match. 4.1 million New Yorkers serve as family caregivers, and Gillibrand says this act would make it so American workers would no longer have to choose between a paycheck and caring for a family member.
With paid leave, turnover is low, loyalty is high, and businesses do better. So we have to consider this smart, pragmatic policy. It's time for America to join the rest of the industrialized world.
Now, in February of last year, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand visited Johnson's Restaurant in Owego, where she first announced the bill. Today, she reintroduced a modified version of that bill, which establishes a nationwide, gender-neutral, paid family and medical leave insurance program.
You take a look at what the Mirabito live weather cam is showing in Oneonta, and you really want to kind of put that into a bottle and bring it back on some cloudy, dreary day. Because, man, it was gorgeous out there today. We had a lot of bright sunshine. Few clouds filled the sky from time to time, but for the most part, we really had just a gorgeous afternoon here. Details on that coming up.
Thanks, Howard. Secretary of State John Kerry pushed past a Tuesday deadline and decided to go into overtime in talks with Iran about its nuclear program. Craig Boswell is at the White House with the latest on these negotiations. Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu, who is also leery of any deal with Iran, is meeting with House Speaker John Boehner to discuss the talks. And still to come on Action News at 5:30.
What Walmart is doing to try to lower prices, and McDonald's changes its chicken. I'm Lauren Lister. I'll have those stories and more coming up in your CBS Money Watch report. Walmart wants its suppliers to help the retailer lower prices. That's your Money Watch. For more, go to cbsmoneywatch.com. In New York, I'm Lauren Lister.
We're taking a look right now at your live Mirabito weather cam in Vestal. It was a beautiful day outside, but it was still kind of chilly to start the month of April. Chief Meteorologist Howard Manges has the Storm Tracker weather forecast coming up. But first, here are your midday lottery numbers. Good luck.
This is Storm Tracker weather, powered by AccuWeather.
Looking at the satellite and radar here through most of the United States and southern Canada, could be a few rain or snow showers around, but I don't think it will be lost to precipitation.
Tomorrow and Friday sound wonderful.
Yeah.
Enjoy it for now while we have it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And maybe we'll get some sun in there tomorrow, as I mentioned, so that'll make it all much better.
That would be nice. Well, happy April, Howard.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and April Fool's Day is today, and it wouldn't be the same without a few pranks here and there, which I'm working on my prank for you right now.
I'm waiting. This U-News user sent us a photo of a prank set up at their workplace. They said it's always interesting on April 1st and that this money should surely bait in a few fools.
That would definitely bait me in, I have to admit. You can send us your videos and pictures to our website, WBNG.com, using U-News, and we may use them right here on Action News. Well, we all know the saying, the early bird gets the worm. Well, today the early fish got the worm. Today marks the first day of trout season here in New York. According to the Department of Environmental Conservation, nearly 2 million people will fish during the 2015 season. Now, despite cold temperatures this morning, anglers made their way to Nanticoke Creek in the town of Union, just hoping they could get a bite.
Well, they're not moving. I mean, if you find the stockies, they're all going to be all grouped up. It's a matter of hitting the hot spot.
Last year, I think I caught a couple trout. The year before that, I caught a lot of trout. We saw a few fish, but we didn't catch any. I had asked my friend Tyler out to go come fish with us, and we had a fire. We had a great time.
Trout season runs until October 15th. Pennsylvania trout season starts statewide on April 18th. And still to come on Action News at 5:30. Self-driving cars may be available in the market in just a few years. Find out what needs to be done before drivers can sit back and take their hands off the wheel. Many experts believe we're just years away from having cars that actually drive themselves, but there are some issues that could put the brakes on this technology. Lauren Lister explains.
Delphi Automotive's SUV arrived in the New York City area after a 3,500-mile cross-country journey
We're working on more stories for Action News. Candace Chapman is in the studio with a look at what's to come on Action News at 6. Candace?
He lived to be a public servant. Five-time Uniontown Supervisor Jack Cheevers has passed away. Coming up, a look at his impact on the local Democratic Party and the funeral arrangements. Plus,
this will enhance the officer's safety as well as build a public trust.
Don't make this a career.
how Boone County plans to field newly arrived body cameras. And hear what NHL honor a former BSEN got today. That's coming up in Action Sports. Caroline?
All right, thanks, Candace. That's all we have for Action News at 5:30. Don't forget about the website, WBNG.com. There you'll find all the latest news, weather, and sports. Howard and I will be back tonight at 10 on Big and CW and 11 right here on WBNG. Action News at 6 is next. Enjoy your evening.